What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us for another episode of Brews and Real Estate. I got Raymond Trinkle III over from New York here with us again today. And yeah, how's your weekend going, Ray?
No complaints, man. Freaking life is good. Actually, you know what? I have some complaints. We'll find some complaints for this shit.
I was gonna say it.
I can always find complaints about realtors. I don't know what it is, but there's just like, a lot of realtors that I don't know if it's a lack of education or if it's the lack of like effort. You know what I mean? So it's just like maybe it's a combination of the two.
I thought you were gonna complain about the New York situation we got going on.
Nah, that's you know what I mean?
Lockdown.
Like, yeah, I mean, we can't have holidays. We can't do real estate. We can't shop. We can't go out to restaurants. The list goes on.
That's unfortunate. But for those of you that are joining for the first time, what this is going to consist of is we're going to go over a new beer for the week, essentially, that I tried. And after that, we're going to go over real estate. And for those of you that are joining again, thank you for tuning on. Hopefully I can provide some value and hopefully you guys enjoy the show. So, Ray, what you got with you today?
Beer-wise?
Yep, beer-wise.
Beer-wise. All right. So I went honestly in a totally different direction today. You know what it is? I had drank a White Claw. And I was like, all right, let me keep the trend going. And I saw Great South Bay and I saw they had it's called Spiked Grape Full Aid, right?
Let me see it. Show everybody the cover.
Kind of awesome. So
okay,
spiked grape Full Aid, a hard seltzer.
That is cool.
It's pretty solid too. 7%. It's kind of supposed to be like the Kool-Aid Man, but it's the grape Full Aid. So he's like, oh yeah.
That looks great.
I always love the joke, like with the comedian where he's making fun. I forget who it is. Maybe Dane Cook, and he's saying like, what would you do if you were like at home and all of a sudden like this giant punch bowl came breaking through the wall. You ever seen that skit? Bro, that skit is so freaking funny. I'm freaking hysterical. And he's like, bro, not oh yeah. He's like, oh no, you better get this shit cleaned up before friggin' my parents get home.
Yeah, Dane Cook is the man. I wish he was still doing stand-up. So today what I got is, I don't know if any of you guys ever tried this, Flying Horse Royal Lager Beer.
I've tried it. I don't know if I've had that one, but yeah.
Okay, so this was my first time trying it. I actually bought this at a Indian restaurant this week when I was out. And I decided to give it a try. So this is actually brewed by United Breweries Group, and that is in South India. So it's pretty much a lager. They call this the champagne of beer in India, apparently. So it definitely is good. So the combination I had it with, since I was at an Indian restaurant, was I had it with Indian food. So I had some, it was good, man. Had some lamb korma, had some beer. So that was a good combination. It's got like a little malty taste, but it's very light. So that, I guess that's why they call it the champagne of beer. So let's get into the action.
Shall we?
Yeah.
So is that local, the brewery?
No, it is not. I'll have a link down below because
you really are slacking with this local. You got. Are there any local Virginia breweries?
So the one I went over last month was local.
Okay.
Yeah, that one was local.
Interesting. This is going to be fully clear. I mean, I guess because it's a seltzer, I didn't really expect it. I don't even know if you're supposed to really pour a seltzer into a beer glass, but you know what? It's going down this way.
Oh, check that out. The head is almost perfect on that. But the last one I had was
check out my seltzer head. Yeah.
Yeah, the last one I had was Star Hill, and then this one is from India. But cheers. Where's the glass?
Right here, my friend.
Oh wow. Oh, so it's actually completely clear. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Cheers. I was not. Wait. So where's the head? Can you?
There is no head, bro. It's seltzer.
Oh my goodness. All right. Cheers.
Cheers, bud.
So before we dive into this, you got any interesting story of the week, real estate wise?
Yeah. So I have a listing right now. And I try to be a nice guy, and that sometimes gets you in trouble in this industry. especially with hot markets, because you're supposed to always protect your seller, but at the same time, you gotta like understand how the business works. So there's a lot of buyers right now that are coming from the city. And since they're coming from the city, sometimes with scheduling and, you know, work, and I totally understand. So we accommodated on one of my listings. We took an offer very early on in the process. We had multiple offers, right? Took the highest one. Great offer. I mean, a really solid buyer, good finances, good down payment, but they couldn't do the inspection till almost a week out, right? So let's say we accept the offer on the weekend. They can't do it till Friday. It's not a great situation to do that because obviously we can continue to show it. We already have other offers. Maybe we get, you know, one of those offers to come up. But against my better judgment, I did it because, you know what? It was a single mom. It was like a couple of, you know what I mean? Like there's some emotional circumstances that we as realtors and sometimes, you know, sellers, we decide that, you know, it makes sense to do that. So we did it. And, you know, fast forward, we're 2 weeks into the process as of Friday. And we still didn't have contracts signed because, you know, the attorney that she was using was dragging her feet. It was just such a
you guys had an offer.
So it should have been signed on Friday, and it didn't get signed. And you know what? I blame the realtor.
Offer sheet, or are you talking about like a legit contract?
A legitimate contract, right? Okay. Inspection's done now, so we're 2 weeks in. So we lost 2 weeks, and we still don't have contracts signed. So like to my seller, it's not, you know, it's not right because we took their offer on the word of the realtor, on the word of the buyer. And, you know, and when you give me your word's got to matter in this industry. It's a small business, you know, and the realtor was trying to like kind of backtrack. And I'm like, bro, your word's dead to me, you know, like I don't know what to tell you. Like that, if I go out on a limb and I hold the deal for you, and I'm not saying like if I didn't get a higher offer, we wouldn't have switched it up, but like I didn't do any more showings. You know what I mean? We accommodated it. We could have did more showings. There's a lot of things that you can do. That's just not how you do business. Do you know what I mean? Like you shouldn't take that long. So, I mean, luckily, I literally last night we made the decision. I called my seller. I said, let's change the status, take it back onto the market. We got an offer from a prior buyer that was just literally sitting in the wind. It's so weird how that works. Beautiful, even more down payment, like, so it's just we're swapping. That's how the game works. You know, so but story of the week is realtors, if you are gonna, it's a small business, and Tan, I'm sure you have a story probably along the same lines. Like, actually you do. It's funny that you just had that other realtor that was just like going crazy on you. It's like you gotta be careful in this business. Like your word is everything. How you behave is everything. Like it's huge.
Yeah, she apologized. It is definitely a small industry, so you're right on that. I always try to treat other people with respect. That's just how I was raised. So, but yeah, this beer is really good. It's actually super clear for a lager. See that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Want to share that with you because I guess that's why they call it the champagne of beers. It's pretty good. So my story of the week, nothing too crazy, but you're right on that. I mean, I had one realtor freaking out on me because I have 2 listings right now that are both tenant occupied. Tenants work on a completely different schedule. She's like going off on me because she had to change her schedule without even confirming that appointment's going to go through. I called her up and was just like, well, what is your problem? Like, there's a reason why I told you downstairs was approved. Upstairs, I'm still waiting on. I didn't tell you to book anything. That's your fault. So that's what happened with that. But on a good note, what I did, so for those of you realtors or landlords that may be listening and thinking of selling, and you have tenants that are a little difficult to work with, right? They're a little fed up with whatever, you know, the situation is. They don't want people going in and out, you know, especially with COVID, understandable. What you can do is, so I gave both of those tenants $20 Chick-fil-A gift cards, the tough ones. I'm probably gonna do the same for the ones that have been super cool with me. Just because that's
great idea.
Yeah, so I gave both of them $20 Chick-fil-A gift cards, and they absolutely loved it. And moving forward, it just, you know, I'm gonna keep going as I feel like, all right, they're really accommodating me, right? So you as a landlord, if you're doing it as a landlord or an agent, that's one advice that you can do if you're working with tenants that are living within a, like this scenario, it's a duplex. So it makes it really difficult to schedule showings because people have different schedules. One's an overnight nurse, The other one downstairs has handicapped siblings right now, right, they have to take care of. So the scheduling is super crazy. So that's how I was able to show appreciation. And essentially, they loved it. They thanked me a lot for it because they've had it listed before with other realtors, and they didn't go above and beyond like what I've done so far. So I've done, typically on like rentals, most people don't want to put in effort because they're just like, oh, it's a rental, just numbers game. So I've done one above and beyond by putting in Matterport, Zillow 3D Tour to limit foot traffic from in and out the house, because they explained to me how, it's super annoying. The sellers have tried selling this and having to do a lot of showings. So those are ways that you could get around it and make a difference. And eventually, once we go into contract and we can't find an investor and we start looking for people that are looking at house hack, there's ways that you can get around it too, where their lease is over next year, April. However, you can always incentivize the tenants to possibly move out, covering for their moving expenses, whatever the case is. Because realistically, if you're open to getting buyers in there that are looking at house hack, live in one, rent out the other, that's the best way. Like that's going to open up your pool for more buyers. So that's how you can get around it too. If you're a landlord or either an agent that's looking to sell and working with a tenant occupied situation. All right. But yeah, that's it for the week.
I like that. I mean, I know we're going to jump in and give our reviews really quickly on our beverages, but just to kind of piggyback on that, you kind of made me think of a couple ideas. So one of the really good ways you could do that for tenants, and I like doing this, if I have like tenants in a property, I like doing this in general, but this works really good with whether you're doing it with the sellers or with tenants, right? Do showings like once a week. So like schedule a block of time for 2 hours, line them all up, and give that tenant like $100, like depending on like analyze the situation. If they have kids, buy them movie tickets. Like obviously we're in COVID right now, but send them to the movies. That's like 2 hours. Give them maybe like a little bit of money for like food and snacks beforehand and whatnot. If it's a couple, send them out to dinner, buy them a reservation, send them out. Like it's an easy way to, like, if they're going out to dinner every single week, they're going to look forward to showing their all, like the tenants will be cleaning everything up. They'll be like, it's great, we're going out to dinner again, yo. No, Tane's the best. Yeah. So like I like the idea, man.
I was actually, that's funny you brought that up because I was actually thinking about it. But then the reason why I thought I'm going to try it still, but I know that they both want to be there for the showings. So that's the tough part. But I was thinking about that. I'm like, all right, what if I could get them out? Because I was thinking when Tom.
Are you allowed to have video cameras in the showings or no?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the easy solution there, and I'm just kind of spitballing with you right now, is you would basically like throw up a camera so they could actually watch you bring in like tenants, potential buyers through their property. And then they'd have like, you could do literally a quick little Wi-Fi install, like boop, 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 it'd be part of your package. And then like, I think what would be really cool too is like, whether it's an application on your phone or you just give it to them kind of as like an email with a menu, and they have 3 choices, like Tane's choices of the week, like, so they can go to like this restaurant, they can have like this excursion, they can go like mini golfing, and like, and like they're gone for the 2 hours or whatever it is, and that's when you do the showings.
Yeah, these are the things that you don't expect to be doing when you become. I never expected I'd be doing stuff like this when I thought about becoming a realtor.
Well, you know what it is? Not every realtor does, and that's why, like they said, like it's been a bad experience with a lot of other realtors. So if you could do these things to separate yourself, a home run. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your beverage? And
this flying horse.
I think we got to do a scale out of 100 because that's how they do wine, right? If you do like 10, it's too like you can't be like it's a 92. You know what I mean?
Scale out of
100. Okay. Out of 100.
All right. So on a scale out of 100, I would give
it for that specific like type of beer, that category, like you know what I mean, like
on a lager scale. Out of 100, I'll give this a 90.
A 90. Okay. And then how about like just, are you a lager fan or not really?
I am, but I do like my lager. So I see why they call this the champagne of beer, because.
Is it like a Miller Lite? Like
Yes.
Miller High Life? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's very light.
Because
So,
isn't
like,
the Miller High Life the champagne of beers, right?
Yep. Yeah, no, it's very light. So that is why I would give it a 90, not like a full 100. The taste is good. It's a little better than like Miller High Life, right? But I do like my lagers to be heavier. So that's why I think I like a lot of German beers, because it's very heavy, I guess heavy, you could say. And yeah, this is light though. It's good. It's definitely, it's interesting because like I never had a lager before that kind of tasted like, let me not, like it's very like light. So, what happened?
My cell phone just texted.
I got my phone going off over here.
I was like,
Yeah,
no!
dude, one of the things as a realtor, your phone's always blowing up at like the most random hours.
Yep. So we're giving it a 90 out of 100.
We're giving it a 90.
That's not bad. That's a pretty good score.
No, it's definitely
no knock on it. That's not a knock on it. Like I would say anything 90 or above is a good beer. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I would scale it. Like as you like kind of tick up. So he's basically saying it's not his cup of tea, but he's not knocking the beer. It's not like an 85.
I would definitely try it. I love trying new beer.
Yeah.
So I mean, this has 4.7% alcohol content. So that gives you an idea of how light it is. You know what I mean? It's literally as if you were to go to your store, to your local store, and get like a Miller Lite, like as you mentioned. But
you check it out. It came in like that. I was like, yeah. Did you see my forehead game? That's a little inside joke.
Yeah. So how about yours? What do you think of yours?
All right. So I did go with a Long Island beverage again. So like one more just to remind you guys. Oops, Great South Bay, spiked grapefruit, hard seltzer, 7.7% alcohol.
Oh my God!
I mean, it's strong, which I like. Yeah, no, you definitely feel it. It's nice. It's not like, you know, like a White Claw, like is not going to be on the same level as like something like this, you know, and I wouldn't necessarily drink it out of like, you know, my ancestors, because I'm German and Sicilian. They're probably like rolling over in their grave with that, but it's fine. But honestly, it's really good. Like if I was like chilling, and I'm sure they have like like, you know, you can go and like I hang out at the actual like place. It'd be a great like summer drink, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or like late autumn on a warm day where you don't want to like it's not filling, you know, like so it's what you want to get out of a hard seltzer, and it's pretty freaking smooth. Like you know, like I should be losing carbonation drinking it out of a glass, and it's not like I'm not really losing anything. It's delicious. So I guess on a scale of 100, I'm probably gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 93.
93. Okay. And see, like I am not like crazy about hard seltzer, but I definitely am on the White Claw bandwagon.
You know, I wanted to appeal to both our female audience as well as our younger generation. It's weird how like that's the combo, right? Because it's like if you're like older than 30 and you're a male, you most likely would drink like craft beers. But you know, a lot of people have started to kind of get onto the hard seltzers, and these like bevies like this, I mean like breweries like this are late to the game. Like I don't know when they created this, but like White Claw was like one of the first ones I remember, and like they've, you know, now you have like Truly and some of these other brands that are coming out, but first to game is usually a tough person to take down, first to market, you know?
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I would think it's White Claw and then Truly's, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you see, like now you have Budweiser has something, Corona has something. Like, oh no, I didn't mean to say that word. You should probably just have them bleep that word out, because honestly,
it's gonna get
no, YouTube is gonna censor our video. 100%, dude. Right. Have them edit that video. Just go bleep. It'll be way more entertaining. And they'll be, what did they bleep? And then that'll be a good story to tell after the fact. It's kind of awesome. But yeah, definitely make a mental note. Scratch the C word.
I'm gonna. Well, actually, I want to test. I want to test it out. See if it gets caught. Let's
Oh
see.
no, it's been proven. It's
Really?
been proven. Oh, trust me, all my streamer friends. Yep. You can't say that or the other version of it. But like, or there's
Well, I
three
can't
versions
say-
actually. All three versions start with C. You have
So I
the
can't say CORONA. Like,
no, or you can't say the other one that ends in D, or you can't, and the other one that ends in E.
that is crazy. I did not
Yep.
know that.
So we have some pretty crazy market statistics to go over, right? You got some stuff with you?
Yeah. Let's go over it.
What you got?
So October's numbers, man, this is like I'm hitting people over the head with it because nothing's in regards to inventory wise, it's it just keeps going down. So like it's I don't know how else to say this, but if you're looking to sell your house within like the next 6-12 months, now is the time because the inventory is so low. So this is the data I got this month. All right, so active listings, it's not as bad as last month, which we were at 41%, but this month, again, keep in mind all this year.
41% mean 10.
What happened?
What does 41% mean?
41%, meaning that we're compared year over year, we're down 41%. Well, this was last month, so this month's data is a little different. But this month's data, our active inventory is actually down by 39% in comparison to last year. However, the interesting thing is, this is the encouraging part because October last month, we actually saw 3,829 new listings added to the MLS system. So that's actually a 8.8% increase year over year of new listings. All right. So even though we had a huge increase of new listings by close to 8.8%, we still had a decrease in the actual active listings that we have available, which is right now at 39%.
Okay.
So again, the inventory they say is literally probably the lowest we've ever seen. Same thing with the rates. I'm actually working on purchasing a property right now too, and the rates that I'm hearing are insane, even for non-QM loans. So like that's the really interesting point on that. And despite like our actual inventory decreasing, our pending sales have also increased. So that does have a factor on why, again, our active listings keep going down. It has a lot to do with the low rates. We have a ton of first-time home buyers out there that usually wouldn't have been able to afford it because, those percentages do make a difference on the qualification. So that's the one thing that people forget. Because buyers, I talk to buyers and then they're worried about, they hear it's a seller's market and it's like, should I go out there? It's a seller's market, we can pay over asking.
That'd be a great idea for maybe an episode that we'll do one of these days where we'll show on the screen a mortgage calculator and we'll play with taxes and rate and show you guys how both make a huge difference.
Yeah, I showed that to John recently, the difference, and it blew up.
It's a great learning tool.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, in regards to that, we've definitely seen a huge increase in the pending sales. So that's by 27, pretty much 28% increase in pending sales in comparison to last year, October, right? And overall, our actual median sales price saw a growth of close to 13%, which is huge. Like, yeah, that's insane, 13%. And the craziest part is, even for our new construction settled sales, that's increased by 12%. So that's like insane, especially with knowing that, we're going through a pandemic right now. So a lot of people just, pay attention to the news, right? And then all they see is pandemic this, pandemic that. And then they think that because of the pandemic, the market's going to be bad, right? You pay attention to stock's been going up. So, same things happen with real estate. Median sales prices going up, inventory is going down, obviously. But again, to me, this is definitely a hot market for people that are looking to capitalize on their equity. That's about it. And a lot of the things I'm seeing too, from personal experience, I had 2 deals go into contract this past week, both of them over asking price. And again, this has a lot to do with supply and demand. We have a lot of buyers out there, low inventory, and you're able, if you're on the seller side, you do have a little more of the leverage, but you on the buying side as well, you still have the leverage depending on the property you're working with. But from personal experience, I just had 2 go into contract, both were asking. So that's what I'm seeing. And a lot of people are predicting, and I do predict this too, I think that it's going to be like this for like another 6 months at least. But again, if you're trying to play it safe and don't want to take that gamble on waiting out that 6 months to see if it keeps increasing, right, then now is the time. But if you're willing to take the risk, do it. That's how I'm advising my clients. Every client I talk to, at least make them aware of what could be the scenario down the road. I think that it would keep going up, but you do need to be aware that it's just been on a constant rise for the past couple of years. So it's eventually got to take a downturn. So that's about it over here in Hampton Roads. It's a crazy market, right? How about you, man?
All right. I got some cool stuff for us today.
Let's hear it.
Can we adjust this? All right. So Suffolk, Nassau, right? That's where I am. I'm here on Long Island. I service Long Island, so Nassau and Suffolk County, Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan. However, with COVID, haven't really been doing too much Queens, Brooklyn, or Manhattan. Just hasn't necessarily made the most sense to travel in there. I'm sure you guys can understand. So, I do want to have myself getting recorded here. Recording myself. Doing a double recording, so I have to fix that. All right, so with Suffolk, I'm just going to kind of give you, this is a kind of looking at a 3-month kind of range here, but just give you guys kind of a number where we're running at. We have a 2.1 month, so 2.1 months worth of inventory available right now.
Similar to us.
Hello, man.
Yeah, we're at 1.81.
Yeah, there's a 659,000 in terms of the average sold price. The median sold price is 485. All right, that's for Suffolk County. For Nassau County, we have 2.6 months inventory, 750,000 and change average sold price, and 605 for a median sold price. So obviously your average is going to be slightly higher than your median. That's just kind of the way it's working right now. So you can see the numbers that I really want you to cue in on here is the absorption time. So we have 2.6 months for Nassau, 2.1 months for Suffolk. You can see it's Suffolk County, super popular right now. Now let's look. I didn't do this last time, but I thought it would be a good comparison so you guys can see the difference. So I have Kings County, which is Brooklyn, and Queens County, which is cool. Long Island as well, but these are more urban city areas now. You're gonna see the difference. Yep. It's drastic. So we'll do Queens. So Queens is 5.1 months worth of inventory available.
What? That's crazy.
You want to be selling right now in Queens? It's kind of difficult, right? So it's crazy. Totally different. Everyone is fleeing now.
You know what? That's so crazy because those are the more overpopulated locations.
These are the urban areas, and you're seeing a really, really drastic change.
So for those of you that are listening and not familiar with the layout of New York, because most people aren't aware of the actual boroughs. So Ray's over in Nassau County, which is pretty much Long Island, right? And that's like I get outside of New York, about like I would say 45 minutes, and you're in Suffolk County, or like you're still in Nassau. Yeah, I would say. So that's where Ray's at in Long Island, and then the stats he's going over, Queens, Brooklyn, all that, they're part more of the boroughs in the city, which are overpopulated. And I think the data is correlating to exactly what's going on with the pandemic. Right? From the sound of it, people are trying to get out from more popular locations and out to Long Island, which is more the suburbs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? I mean, so for example, August, we had 3,343 total listings available in Queens.
Wow.
We have 3,268 listings available in October. So it's pretty much kind of flat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not a huge, you know what I mean, like turnover. So closed listings. I'll show you what the listings numbers are. So this will make a lot more sense for you guys. So October, right? We had 442 closed listings for Queens. Queens is big, like a lot of properties in Queens. 442 closed listings. October for Nassau, we did 1,400 closed listings, and we did 1,700 closed listings in Suffolk.
Wow.
So it's like 5 times as many closings going on out here as there are in Queens. Now, look at Brooklyn. Brooklyn, I would say, is more urban, right? Even more urban. I mean, it's tough to say that Queens is not as urban as
it's
Brooklyn.
With the location. It's like
they're both
Brooklyn,
Long Island. You
yeah.
know what I mean? So a lot of people don't want to admit that, but you guys live on Long Island. So there's this 7.5 months absorption time. It's insane.
You know what though, man? I mean, it's kind of like who. I'm not even gonna say like why would anyone go out towards that direction right now? Like that's what I'm thinking, because everyone's going out to Long Island to try to get away from the overpopulation, right? So
I don't know, dude. It's kind of crazy.
That is insane. 7 months. So
yeah.
So ours.
Do you want to know how many listings were closed in October?
Let's hear it.
Take a guess. I want you to guess, and it's low. So I'm giving you a hint. Okay. Queens was 442. Suffolk was 1,700 plus. How many closings do you think happened in Brooklyn? Actually, not closing. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, closed listings. Closings.
You said Queens was 442?
Yeah, 442. 1,700 in Suffolk County. So 1,700 in Suffolk County.
It's gonna be 100.
400. How many over here?
Between 100 and 200.
100 and 200. I'll give you one more guess, and I will say that you are still drastically off.
Under 100?
Under 100, and you're still way off.
What? What is it?
Take one more crack at it.
All right, then in the 300 then.
It's lower. It's lower than 100.
Lower than 100?
Lower than 100.
In Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn.
That is insane. I'm under 50. Like
under 50 is the answer. 37 closed listings.
Guys, like for those of you that are watching this, that is insane. I mean, how many people are in Brooklyn? Let's see.
37 closed listings, 1,700 in Suffolk County.
2.6 million people live in Brooklyn, and there is only 37 closings. That's insane. To give you an idea, if you're from Virginia and in the Hampton Roads, I mean, like that's, let's see, because that's insane.
What's crazy though is year over year, it's 1% higher or 1.5% higher in the average price. So it's like holding the price. They're like, hold, you know what I mean? Like Sparta, like we will not fall. You know what I mean? All the sellers like lined up. Like I love it. They're not going to decrease. I appreciate that.
That's insane. We have over here, 2.6 million. We have over here, like, just in Virginia Beach, at like around like 500 something thousand. So, but it's crazy. So, like, because our settled sales, I didn't even go over that. Here in Virginia, in Hampton Roads, our settled sale was 3,180. So that's
crazy.
That's actually we've seen a 20% increase in comparison to last year.
Yep.
So that is insane. Those are the numbers for Brooklyn and Queens.
You should pull like what would you say is your most urban center? Richmond?
The most urban?
Yeah.
I guess you could say Richmond and Norfolk and Virginia Beach, because those locations are really popular. Let's see.
Because I'm curious if you're seeing the same trends down by you, or if you're getting migration. Because New Yorkers are leaving. I know people don't want to talk about it. Like all the brokers in New York, the numbers are there. Like,
well, actually, Virginia Beach would be more urban than Richmond. What I'm seeing, we have about like literally more like 300,000 more people. So, but yeah, that's insane. 37. I I wonder out of that 37, how many was the same realtor? Like, that's so crazy.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
For those of you that are listening, I'm still mind blown because 37 is like nothing. Like that's insane. So yeah. So, but that's good for you though, Ray, because you're out in Nassau County, Long Island.
Yeah, Nassau and Suffolk is crushing it. I'm happy. We're doing thousands of closings. Couple guys that I know are doing a lot of them. They're definitely kicking some butt. I'm happy to see people succeeding in this market. You know what I mean? Like, somebody else's success doesn't take away from your own. I know everybody likes to think that. Nobody's eating your lunch. Like, just work harder, get after it. You know what I mean? Like, Tane, you've proven that. You moved to a brand new state. You're a new agent. You know, you're on pace to hopefully shoot and hit that 50 transaction mark for the year. So, I mean, that's what it's all about, you know, and you just keep pushing and go for it. So, I mean.
Yeah. Well, anyways, for those of you that are tuning in, thank you. Appreciate you watching. This is another episode of Brews Real Estate. If you
I just want to thank Great South Bay Brewery.
So,
you know, you guys, I know you didn't hook it up, but eventually I'm sure you guys are going to start hooking it up.
Flying Horse Royal Lager. Thank you. Great beer. So thank you for joining.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers, man.
Just on I know that our episode's a little bit late, but why don't we just end on, I know Veterans Day just passed, your former military. Just want to say thank you so much to anybody that served in our military, that passed away, that formerly active, non-active. We thank you so much. I thank you so much for the freedoms that I have.
Me too. Thank you. I was in the Marine Corps, for those of you that aren't aware. Veterans Day passed by, and thank you everybody for your services that are still out there, you know, protecting us and serving this country. This past couple of weeks, we actually accepted a couple of VA loans too. So it's nice.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, we had conventionals come in too, and then Veterans Day a couple of times. So let's try to get back. And there you go. So thank you for tuning in. For those of you,
what, Tane, why don't you just bring us out here? I know that you're trying to close it out, but Tane, you did a great thing this week. Tell everybody you gave back, you know, and I always appreciate that. That's what we're all about, the give back program here at our team at eXp Realty. Tane, where did you give back to? I don't know if you know it off the top of your head, because I know the sellers.
Her shelter, over in Portsmouth. So for our team at eXp Realty, what we do is we try to give back to the community through our community give back program. And essentially, I gave back $250 to her shelter. These are women that have went through domestic violence situation. And the shelter is awesome. It's in an undisclosed location. However, essentially what they do is they bring in people that went through domestic violence and try to get them back up on their feet. It's a really neat thing. I saw the location. They have people in, pretty much house them and try to get them back up on their feet and back into civilization, right?
That's hard, man. That's hard. That's a great call.
So those are a couple of things that we do here now at our team at eXp Realty. So that's part of it. So any closing that we do, I let my clients select what, and I just, we just started this recently, but I let my clients select exactly who they want to donate to. I know you've probably been doing it a little longer than me, but I just started implementing that over here in Virginia as well. If you know anybody that is looking to buy and sell, please reach out. Ray's over in New York. He's over in Nassau County. I'm over here in Virginia, Hampton Roads area. Most people know it for Norfolk and Virginia Beach. Just know that when you're using one of our services, it's going towards a good cause and helping out others, right? And making a difference in the communities. So anyways, thank you for joining. I'm almost done with this. Cheers.
Cheers, my friend.
See you, man.